Hi, hello viewers, it's my Lemonade IAS Academy and today we are going to see January current affairs. In our last video also we discussed January current affairs. We are going to see the things which are left in the last year video. So January 2021 is the thing which we are going to discuss today. So first one is Indian star tortoise. We have completed 30 in our last video, so you can check that also. And in this video we are going to start it from 31. So it is Indian star tortoise. Indian star tortoise. Indian star tortoise is found in the Indian subcontinent and it is found in the central as well as the southern part of India, and it is also found in Pakistan as well as Sri Lanka. So it is found in Pakistan, Sri Lanka as well as southern and the central parts of India. And Indian star tortoise IUCN status is vulnerable. And it is under the Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And under CITES, it is under the Appendix 1. So Indian star tortoise, it is mostly found in the Indian subcontinent. It is found in the central as well as the southern parts of India, and it is also found in the Pakistan, western part of Pakistan as well as Sri Lanka. And the IUCN status of Indian star tortoise is vulnerable, and under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it is under the Schedule 4, and under the CITES, it is Appendix 1. So these are the things which are relating to Indian star tortoise. Then we have Simburu Volcano. Simburu Volcano is a place in news. So you should know where Simburu Volcano is located. So they can ask you in match the following, and you should also know whether it is active or dormant. If you are reading about a volcano, you should know whether it is active or dormant, and you should also see whether it has recently erupted or it has erupted before years. So check those steps. First, here Simburu Volcano, it is located in Indonesia. It is located in Indonesia's East Java province. Earlier we have seen Indonesia while we were discussing places in news. So Indonesia is also a place in news. So you should know that Indonesia is an island country. We have many islands, and those islands together make Indonesia. The first island is Sumatra. Sumatra is so close to that of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Here we will be having Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Sumatra will be so close to that of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And after Sumatra, we have another island called as Java. So in this Java province only, we have Java province only we are having Simburu Volcano. And the top of Java we will be having Borneo, and after Borneo we will be having Celebes. And after that we will be having Papua New Guinea. All these islands together form Indonesia. So in this Indonesia only we are having Simburu Volcano, which is on the Java province, and it is the highest volcano in Java, and it is also a most active volcano. So Simburu Volcano is the highest volcano in Java, and it is the most active volcano, and it is located in Indonesia. Kamalam. Kamalam is a Sanskrit word, and in Sanskrit Kamalam means lotus. So recently Gujarat government has decided to rename the dragon fruit as Kamalam. Dragon fruit resembles the lotus flower, and so what they have decided to rename the dragon fruit as Kamalam. So in Kamalam, it is a Sanskrit word which means lotus. Houthi. Houthi is a terrorist label, and Houthi is formed by Sayyidite scholars. Sayyidite scholars has formed this Houthi terrorist label, and US has recently planned to review this Houthi terrorist label. So Houthi terrorist label is in news, and it is formed by Sayyidite scholars. Sayyidite scholars are Shia sector, and this Shia sect lived in Yemen for 1,000 years, and they also ruled the country for several centuries. And this Houthi is against the Saudi-backed government. So Houthi, it is a terrorist label, and it is formed by Sayyidite scholars, and it is a Shia sector who lived in Yemen for several centuries, and they also ruled the country for several centuries, and they are against the Saudi-backed government. SOFR stands for Secured Overnight Finance Rate, secured overnight financing rate, and SBI does deals using SOFR as benchmark. So SBI use this SOFR as benchmark, first point. Then SOFR, this secured overnight financing rate. This is the interbank overnight interest rate. Simply, it is the interbank overnight interest rate. It is interbank overnight interest rate. So SOFR stands for Secured Overnight Financing Rate. SBI does deals using SOFR as a benchmark, and it is SOFR is the interbank overnight financing rate and a interest rate, interbank overnight interest rate, and it is also a reference rate. Then we have RISA. Actually, you should know, if you are having any cultural item, if you are having any minor forest produce thing which is produced by tribals, you should know the state which is associated with it. So RISA is associated with Tripura. Tripura CM is recently promoting RISA. RISA is a part of female attire. In a part of female attire, we have 3 components in Tripura's female attire, and those are Rigutu, Rignai and RISA. First one Rignai, then Rikutu and RISA. These are the 3 parts of a female attire. Generally, in Western culture, they use a shirt as well as pant. Likewise, in Tripura culture, they have 3 items in a female attire, and those are Rignai, Rikuta and RISA. RISA is like an upper stole or a headgear. It is like a stole, headgear or a female upper cloth. It is a female upper cloth, and it is also given to distinguished recipient. To honor someone, it is given. So it is given to honor someone also, and it is upper cloth. It is a stole or a upper cloth of female attire. So recently it is promoted by Tripura CM, so it is associated with Tripura. US President. Recently, US President election held, and Joe Biden was elected as the US President, and Joe Biden was elected as the 46th US President, and Kamala Harris became the 49th Vice President. So Joe Biden became the 46th US President, Kamala Harris became the 49th Vice President, and Biden is the oldest president in the American history. Biden is the oldest president in American history, and Kamala Harris is the first female and the Indian American in the American history, Vice President. First female and Indian American woman to become a Vice President is Kamala Harris. And generally, the US President tenure is 4 years. So these are the things. Recently, US President election held, and in this election, they selected the 46th US President, and Joe Biden was elected as the 46th President, and he is the oldest US President in the American history, and Kamala Harris is selected as the 49th Vice President, and she is the first female as well as the Indian American woman to be selected as the Vice President, and US President tenure is 4 years. Angiogenesis. So angiogenesis, you should know what is this angiogenesis. Actually, angiogenesis is a physiological process in which a new blood vessel will grow from a older one, from the pre-existing one. That is angiogenesis. Say a new blood vessel is growing from a pre-existing vessel, then it is called as angiogenesis. So new blood vessels form from pre-existing vessels is called as angiogenesis, and in this angiogenesis it is common. It is common in wound healing process as well as in growth. During wound healing and growth, this angiogenesis is very common. But what happens is, if there is a deregulation of this angiogenesis, it will be the main reason for the tumor growth. The deregulation of this angiogenesis will cause a tumor growth, and in this angiogenesis, it is the fundamental step in conversion of the tumor cells from the benign state to the malignant state. This is the fundamental step of conversion from the benign state to malignant state. So benign state is nothing but it is the normal state. It is if the cells are normal, then it is called as benign state. Whereas in malignant state, the cells are not normal and it has a abnormal growth. That is called as malignant state. So angiogenesis is nothing but it is a physiological process in which new blood vessels will form from the pre-existing vessels, and this is a normal thing that happens in our body during wound healing process as well as growth. But this angiogenesis, during the deregulation of angiogenesis, it will become the main reason for tumor growth. Deregulation of angiogenesis is the main reason for tumor growth, and what happens is angiogenesis is the fundamental step in conversion of the tumor cells from the benign state to malignant state. Benign state is nothing but if the cells are normal, then it is benign state, whereas malignant state, in that state cells will have an abnormal growth and will lead to tumor formation. So those are the things which are relating to angiogenesis. Then smart cameras. Smart cameras are planned to be installed in public places, and this smart cameras program is a part of Uttar Pradesh. So the police in Uttar Pradesh has decided to install smart cameras in public places so that if a woman is in distress, then smart cameras will automatically click a picture and it will be sent to the police station, and the nearest police station will get alerted and they will save the woman from any kind of things. So that is this smart cameras. So smart cameras are planned by the Uttar Pradesh police and it will be installed in public places, and if a woman is in distress, it will automatically click picture and it will be sent to the nearest police station so that police can take actions. Then exercise Kavach. Exercise Kavach is a joint military exercise. In this exercise Kavach, it involved assets of the Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, as well as Indian Coast Guard, as well as Indian Army. So it involves assets of Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, Indian Coast Guard, as well as Indian Army. So exercise Kavach is a joint military assets involving the assets of joint military exercise involving the assets of Army, Navy, Coast Guard, as well as Air Force, and it is being conducted in the Andaman and Nicobar Command. ANC. It is being conducted in the Andaman and Nicobar Command. Why? Because this Andaman and Nicobar Command is the only joint forces command in the country. It is the only joint forces command in the country. So exercise Kavach will be held in Andaman and Nicobar Command, in which assets of the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, as well as Air Force will be used. And then we have a portal, Shram Shakti Digital Data Solution. So Shram Shakti Digital Data Solution is jointly launched by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and the Goa government. Ministry of Tribal Affairs and Goa government jointly launched this Shram Shakti Data Solution. So it is relating to the migration. It is relating to the support for migrant. So it supports the national migrant people. National level. It is a national level migrant support, and it is a portal. So this is the thing. Shram Shakti Digital Data Solution is a portal which is launched by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs as well as the Goa government. It is a national level portal in which they give support to the tribal, in which they give support to the migrant people. So it is a migrant support which is given in national level by the by establishing a portal which is established by Ministry of Tribal Affairs and Goa government. So, Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon. SAS stands for Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon. This Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon is tested. It is tested by the DRDO, and that is why it is in the news. It is tested by DRDO in the Odisha coast from the Hawk 1. It is tested from Hawk 1 of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited from the Odisha coast, and it is this weapon is 120 kg, 120 kg class smart weapon, and it can engage the enemy assets such as enemy field assets such as radars, bunkers, runways, etc. and its range is 100 km. So SAW means Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon, and this Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon is recently tested by DRDO from the Hawk 1 of the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited of the Odisha coast, and it is a 125 kg weapon. It is a 125 kg class smart weapon, and it has a capability and it has a range of 100 kilometers, and it can engage enemy targets like radars, bunkers, runways, etc. Spices Board. There are certain boards which come under the Ministry of Commerce. So Spices Board is also one of that ministry. Spices Board comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. There are 5 boards which come under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and those are, we have rubber, coffee, tea, tobacco and spices. So they might ask you like which of the following boards come under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and in options they can give you rubber board, coffee board, tea board, tobacco board and spices board. So all of these boards come under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So the boards which come under Ministry of Commerce and Industry are 5, and they are rubber board, coffee board, tea board, tobacco board and spices board. SpaceX has recently made a record, and that is why it is in news. It launched 143 satellites in quick succession, and earlier in 2017 India has launched around 104 satellites in quick succession, and it was their record. But now SpaceX has launched 143 satellites in quick succession, and this has broken our India's record. So it is important for our exam, and this 143 satellites are launched using the launch vehicle called as Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is used for the launch, and this mission is called as Transporter 1. So in Transporter 1 mission, they used this Falcon 9 to launch 143 satellites in succession, and it was done by the SpaceX, which broke the India's record of launching 104 satellites in 2017. Two new ant species is discovered, and those are so this is the scientific name for those ants. In a scientific name, it has genus as well as species name. The first name is genus name and the second name is species name. And in this two, both these are ant species, and it is a rare ant species. It is a rare ant genus. This genus itself is a rare ant genus, and in this we have discovered two, and one is from Kerala. Useria joshi is from Kerala, and Useria dicamera is from Tamil Nadu, and Useria joshi is named after a botanist name called as Amitabh Joshi. Amitabh Joshi is a botanist from the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. So after his name only we made his name. We used his name in this ant name. So Useria Joshi, named after Amitabh Joshi. He is a botanist from Jawaharlal Nehru Scientific Research. And Useria dicamera, it was discovered in Madurai Alagar Kovil, and this dicamera means 10 antennal segments. So these are the things which are relating to the ants. So you should know Useria joshi and Useria dicamera are ants. They can ask you in match the following. Then NVD, National Voters Day, is celebrated in which day? So National Voters Day is celebrated on January 25th. Why it is celebrated on January 25th? It is the second important thing, and it is celebrated in January 25th because Election Commission was founded in this day. So Election Commission Foundation Day. Election Commission Foundation Day is 25th January 1950. So National Voters Day was celebrated on 25th January to commemorate the foundation day of the Election Commission on 25th January 1950. Padma Awards. Recently for Padma Awards, 7 persons are selected for the Padma Vibhushan Award. There are 3 categories in Padma Awards. One is Padma Vibhushan, second is Padma Bhushan, third is Padma Shri. For Padma Bhushan, around 7 persons are selected, and for Padma Vibhushan, 7 persons are selected, and for Padma Bhushan, around 10, and for Padma Shri, 102 names are suggested. And for this Padma Awards, the committee which suggests it is Padma Committee. Padma Awards Committee will be formed. It will be constituted by the Prime Minister. This Padma Committee will give suggestions, will give recommendation about the for who the awards can be given. So Padma Awards, for this Padma Awards, a committee will be formed called as Padma Awards Committee, which will be constituted by the Prime Minister, and it will give recommendations. And this Padma Awards is given into 3 categories, and those are Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. Then Akash NG missile. NG stands for new generation. Akash NG missile is a surface to air missile. Generally we have air to air missile, surface to air missile. Likewise we have types of missile. So it is a surface to air missile. And NG stands for New Generation, and DRDO has conducted a successful testing of this Akash NG missile. Therefore, it is in news. It is also conducted, the testing was also conducted from the Odisha coast only. And these are the things. Akash NG missile. So it is ING stands for New Generation, and it is a surface to air missiles, and DRDO has successfully tested its Akash NG missile from the Odisha coast. Bharat Park. Bharat Park 2021, it is celebrated every year in coincidence with the Republic Day. We have Republic Day on 26th January, right? In coincidence with the Republic Day, we celebrate this Bharat Park, and this Bharat Park is organized by the Ministry of Tourism. And this celebration was first started in 2016. It is to generate a patriotic fervor, and it showcases the rich cultural as well as the varied heritage of our country. So Bharat Park 2021, it will be celebrated every year in coincidence with the Republic Day, and it will be organized by the Ministry of Tourism, and it was started in 2016, and it will encourage, it will generate a patriotic fervor, and it also showcases the India's cultural heritage and diversity. So, if there is any such events, remember the ministry which handles it. So, Bharat Park by Ministry of Tourism, and it will be in coincidence with the Republic Day, and it is celebrated from 2016. Then we have Bangladesh. Bangladesh has recently celebrated its 50th Independence Day, and Bangladesh got independence in the 1971 Liberation War. 1971 Liberation War is so important for our exams. In 1971 Liberation War, they made certain operations, and by those successful operations only Bangladesh got independence. One such operation is, we have Operation Jackpot. In Operation Jackpot, they destroyed around 26 enemy ships in the seaports as well as river ports. And we have another one operation called as Kilo Flight. In Kilo Flight also, they destroyed the enemy targets. They successfully strike the enemy targets. So Operation Jackpot. In Operation Jackpot, they destroyed 26 enemy ships in the river ports as well as seaports. Whereas in Kilo Flight, they successfully targeted and successfully strike the enemy targets. So those are the operations. So Operation Jackpot as well as Kilo Flight is relating to 1971 Liberation War. And by 1971 Liberation War only, Bangladesh got independence. Non-prize competition. You should know what non-prize competition is. Generally, prize competition is a thing in which we will reduce the price to bring customers, but in a non-prize competition, we won't reduce the price, but instead, we will bring competition by giving good quality, by increasing the service, by providing extra service, we bring competition. So, non-price competition is something in which the price will not be reduced. First thing, the price will not be reduced, but still there will be a competition. In that competition, what we do is, we provide extra service, we provide a good service, and by the quality, we promote competition. So, those are the things in non-price competition. Climate Action Summit 2021. Climate Action Summit was recently held, and it was hosted by the Netherlands, and this Climate Action Summit was hosted by the Netherlands government, was hosted online. It was an online event. Why? Because of this pandemic, it was held online, and it was planned on January 25, 2021. And this Climate Action Summit is to tackle the climate change, to bring some solutions, to bring some objectives, the aims about the climate. So, Climate Action Summit, it was hosted by the Netherlands, and it was held online, and it was on January 25, 2021. MSP, Minimum Support Price. Minimum support price is very important for this exam. For minimum support price is announced for COPRA. So, minimum support price, who will give approval for the minimum support price? It is CCEA. CCEA stands for Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is chaired by the Prime Minister. This has given its approval for the MSP for COPRA. So, MSP for COPRA, minimum support price for COPRA is given approval by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, which was chaired by the Prime Minister. And Who gives recommendation is given by CSEP. CSEP stands for Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices gives recommendation, and based on that recommendation only, CCEA, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, will give approval. So the one that recommends is CSEP, Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, and the one that gives approval is CCEA, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. So these are the things relating to MSP for copra. Kala Utsav. So Kala Utsav is an initiative. It is an initiative of Ministry of Human Resource Development. Ministry of Human Resource Development is now called as Ministry of Education. So it is an initiative by the Ministry of Education, and it is under the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. It is under Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. It is to promote arts in education. That's it, guys. So Kala Utsav is under the Ministry of Education, and it is under the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and it is to promote arts in education. So Kala Utsav is to promote arts in education, and it is under Rashtriya Madhyamik Abhiyan, and it is under the Ministry of Education. Marine Turtle Action Plan. Marine Turtle Action Plan is by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. That's it, guys. So Marine Turtle Action Plan is by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Then we have Top 25 Drive. So Top 25 Drive is initiated by the Mumbai Police, in which they will select top 25 criminal elements, and they will ask them to sign the bond. They will ask the top 25 criminal elements, and they will ask them to sign a bond of good behavior, failing which they have to pay a fine. That's it. So Top 25 is initiated by Mumbai Police, in which top 25 criminal elements will be selected, and they have to sign a bond of good behavior, and if they fail, they have to pay a fine. So these are the things which we have seen today. So let's have a quick revision, I guess. So first, let's start with Indian star tortoise. Indian star tortoise is mostly found in Indian subcontinent. It is found in the central and the southern part of India, and it is found in it is also found in Pakistan as well as the Sri Lanka, and it is listed as vulnerable and under the Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Protection Act, and in the sites it is under the Appendix 1 of the sites. Then Simburu Volcano. Simburu Volcano is in Indonesia. It is in the Java province, and it is the highest volcano in the Java, and it is also an active volcano. Then we have Kamalam. Kamalam is a Sanskrit word which means lotus, and the Gujarat government has decided to name the dragon fruit as Kamalam. And Houthi. Houthi is a terrorist label which is formed by Zaydid scholars. Zaydid scholars is a Shia sect which who lived for Yemen for several thousand years, and they also ruled the country for several centuries, and they rebelled against the Saudi-backed government. SOFR is secured overnight financing rate. Secured overnight financing rate. SBI uses this as a benchmark, and it is an interbank interest rate. It is an interbank interest rate. So it is an interbank interest rate. And Raisa. Raisa is a part of female attire of the Tirupura. Tirupura CM has promoting this Raisa. That is why it is in news. It is a part of female attire. In a female attire, they have three components. One is Rignai, Rikuta and Raisa. Raisa is the upper stole or a upper part of female attire. And this Raisa is also given to honor a distinguished recipient. And US President, recently US President is selected, and 46th US President is selected, as well as 49th Vice President selected. Joe Biden is selected as the 46th US President, and he is the oldest US President, and 49th Vice President Kamala Harris is selected, and Kamala Harris is the first woman and the Indian origin woman to be selected as the Vice President. Angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is a method in which the old vessels, the new vessels will be formed from the pre-existing vessels, and in this angiogenesis, it is the fundamental step of conversion of the tumor cells from the benign state to the malignant state. Benign state is nothing but a normal state, whereas the malignant state in which there will be abnormal growth of these cells, and in this angiogenesis, if there is a deregulation of angiogenesis, it will be the main reason for the tumor growth. And smart cameras. Uttar Pradesh police has planned the smart cameras, and another smart cameras. They will install smart cameras everywhere, and it will detect women in distress. If there is a reaction that woman is in distress, then it will automatically click picture, and it will be transferred to the police, and the police will come and check the activities. Exercise Kavach. It is a joint military exercise in which it involves assets of Indian Army, Navy, Coast Guard as well as the Indian Air Force, and this exercise Kavach is in the ANC, Andaman Nicobar Command, because Andaman Nicobar Command is the only joint force command in the country. Sham Shakti Digital Data Solution. It is a joint initiative of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and the Goa government, and it is a portal for the national migrant support. And then we have SAW. SAW is a smart anti-airfield weapon. It is a 125 kg smart class weapon, and it also has a capacity of 100 kilometers. The range is 100 kilometers, and it can target enemy elements like radars, bunkers, runways, etc. And Spices Board, it is one of the boards which come under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, we have 5 boards, and those are rubber, coffee, tea, tobacco, spices. SpaceX has recently set up a space record, and that is it has launched 143 satellites in succession, and it has broken India's record. India has launched 103 satellites in 2017, and it has set its record. But now SpaceX has launched 143 satellites in quick succession, and it has broken India's record. And this 143 satellites were launched using Falcon 9 vehicle, and the mission was called as Transporter 1. Then Ukeria Joshi as well as Ukeria Dicamera, both are anti-species, and Ukeria Joshi is from Kerala, Ukeria Dicamera is from Tamil Nadu, and from Tamil Nadu Nagarkoil. This Ukeria Joshi is named after the botanist called as Amitabh Joshi, and Amitabh Joshi is from Jawaharlal Nehru Research Center. Then we have NVD, National Voters Day. National Voters Day is celebrated on 25th January. 25th January is to commemorate the foundation day of the Election Commission of India. Election Commission Day commission was founded on the 25th January 1950. Then we have Padma Awards. Padma Awards is recommended by the Padma Awards Committee, which is constituted by the Prime Minister, and this Padma Awards is given in 3 categories: Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, as well as the Padma Shri. Then we have Akash NG missile. Akash NG missile is a surface to air missile. First thing, it is a surface to air missile, and recently DRDO has conducted a trial. DRDO has conducted a test launch of this Akash NG missile from the Odisha coast, and NG stands for New Generation. Then Bharat Park. Bharat Park is a initiative of the Ministry of Tourism, and it is conducted in coincidence with the Republic Day. Republic Day 26th January day. It will be conducted in coincidence with the Republic Day, and in this it brings a patriotic fervor, as well as it also showcases the India's heritage as well as culture. Then 1971 Liberation War. 1971 Liberation War, in which by which Bangladesh got independence. Now Bangladesh celebrating its 15th Independence Day, and in this Liberation War, it has conducted Operation Jackpot as well as Kilo Flight. So Operation Jackpot as well as Kilo Flight is relating to 1931 Liberation War. Then non-prize competition. Non-prize competition is a competition in which the price is not reduced, but still there is a competition by increasing the quality, by providing extra service, etc. CAS 21 is nothing but Climate Action Summit, which happened in 2021. It is hosted by the Netherlands governments, and it happened online. MSP is minimum support price for Copra. Recently MSP for Copra is announced, and it is announced by the approval is given by CCEA. CCEA stands for Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, and this Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is chaired by the Prime Minister, whereas the recommendation is given by CACP. CACP stands for Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices will give recommendation, and based on its recommendation, CCEA, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, has given approval for the minimum support price for Copra. So Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is chaired by the Prime Minister. Then Kala Utsav. Kala Utsav is an initiative of the Ministry of Education, and Kala Utsav is under the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and it is to promote the arts in education. The arts in education is being promoted by the Kala Utsav. Then Marine Turtle Action Plan. Marine Turtle Action Plan is by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. That's it. Then top 25. So Mumbai government, Mumbai police has decided to select a top 25 criminal elements, and they are asking them to sign a bond of good behavior, failing which they have to pay a fine. So these are the things which we have seen in January 2021 current affairs. We have completed January 2021 current affairs completely in 2 videos. See my last video also, in which I have discussed 30 current affairs, and in this video we have discussed 20 plus current affairs. So these are the things which are important for January. So subscribe to My Lemonade IAS Academy, and we will be posting videos regularly which will be very useful for your UPSC preparation. So subscribe. Thank you.